So ever since getting my milling machine, I knew that it had a couple of problems with it. Problems that I just sort of put in the back burner and said, oh, I'll deal with them later. The first one is the actual spindle bearings. This machine, being fae the 70s, I don't know if it's got the original bearings in the spindle. The second one is the quill spring here. It snapped there. I definitely want to replace the spring. I want to dig into the spindle bearings itself and replace them. The plan is break the spindle down, break all this bit down, and at least we can give everything a good clean, and we can examine all the parts. Examine the quill spring. I need to take that off and measure it, and then look and try and find a replacement for it. And then ultimately the most important part, which is the spindle bearings. Get them off, get them measured, and then get the bearings ordered. I was going to just do this off camera, but I thought definitely interesting to get it all broken down and actually see how it works. This spindle has got play to it. I'll put a dial indicator on it and I'll show you. So it doesn't seem like a lot. A machine of this size, with the rigidity that this machine has got, or should have, it should be able to take really deep cuts. I think that plays a part in why it does not, or it cannot take deep cuts without really bad vibrations. And I think that is down to the actual spindle bearings itself. So let's get farther about it. I'm just going to start by taking the vise off. Next, just take the drawbar out. There's a bearing in here as well, but I don't think I need to replace that. The Z. So just undo this. I snapped the original bit of that, and I had to essentially just add this wee metal bit on. I'll show you that now. For yous that didn't see it, it shouldn't be tight. I learned. I snapped that. There should be a bit that comes up just like this, and I snapped it because I put it too tight, so I had to just quickly make that bit. It's worked perfect ever since. But this is part of the original scale for the Z. I just modified it to work for the DRO. Key it there. It just slide right off now. There must be a kind of gear here that connects it to this part here, because this is obviously to bring the quill down, and then this is the fine feed, so there must be a wee gear here or something that connects them. This bit here is how you lock, and got the bits there, pulls on it, it pushes against the spindle and it locks it. This one here, when you engage that, tighten that up, you can use the fine feed. So that connected to the spring at the back. Let's undo these bolts now. There's the gear there with the springs. So when this bit here is loose, you can use the quill for this bit, but when you tighten that up, it pushes that gear and it meshes with this bit. It's like a wee worm gear, and then you can use the fine feed control. Pretty cool actually. But we'll put that aside. I definitely want to clean all this stuff, but we'll just put this stuff aside the now. Let's put that there. Got a circlip there. I want to get that off so that we can take this out. This is part of our rack and pinion. That's how it goes up and down. Go ye. Right, let's get around to the spring side and start taking that apart, and then we should be able to pull this out of here. So as I said, this is broke. It is all fine just apart from this bit here. It's just been held on right there. We'll just replace it. So it did have a wee bit on it here, and that must be for you to adjust it and tighten it. Wait, I've got to put this back on. Don't know why I took it off. Let's see. Oh. Oh, there we go. So there is the spring. That wee bit indexes with that shaft. And then these wee bits lock it in place. You can see that wee bit goes through there. And there's this bushing here and there's another bushing right there. And then these wee notches lock in with that there. That wee pin. Oh man, it's a greasy mess. It's disgusting. Still see there's a lot wound up in that bit. Whoa! There we go. So I'm going to measure this and then I'm going to look for one a similar size. So I did find one. The one I've got's 18 coming, but I think that'll be fine. The one that's coming is 62. A bit smaller, but I think it will work perfectly. I mean, I think theoretically this spring could be reused. I would just need to, you know, bend this bit further and then get a hole in it, clean it right up. But the replacement spring only cost £8, so I thought, why not? Buy a new one. And if it is too wee, then we'll simply clean that one. Right. There we go, man. Spindle's already free. I just need to raise the mill up a bit. Yep. That bit there is separate for this bit. So let's get this in the vise, undo this, and take this bit off here. So there should be a bearing under this bit here, and then there should be a bearing in that bit right there. Oh, good bit of weight to this on, man. Some really good condition. You can see some light scoring going up, like vertically, which, you know, that's normal since this is going up and down constantly. And listen to it, man. It looks like tapered roller bearings. It isn't all. It's tapered roller bearings that's in that. Oh. Crap. I don't know if these are the original bearings or not. They don't look old, you know. And then how am I going to get this one off? It looks like this bit here is sitting on this bit. Oh, it's moving. Try and get these bearings as clean as I can. I'm not going to use them, I'm not going to replace them. Two different sizes, and they've both got parts number on them, which is fantastic. So we've got them out. It looks in alright condition. I'm just obviously inspecting this. It looks alright. Minimal wear on the parts. I mean, obviously you've got your vertical lines for, you know, the quill going up and down. Now to get the casing out. This one I think I'll be able to get out pretty easy, because I can feel a wee lip there, so I should be able to get that one out pretty easy. But this one, I don't know. You can see where all the marring and discoloration. So I'm going to work on getting these out. Just try and get something under here and wedge it, leverage it up. See, I'm trying not to push it right against the edge to scratch it. I don't want to scratch it. Right, I'm going to put a wee bit of heat to it. And the idea is just to heat it up, to try and expand it a wee bit, and then to shrink it back down. Man, I'm bending that chisel, man. Right, different strategy. Have I damaged this? Aye man, I've scratched it up a wee bit there. Right, we got that bit out with minimal damage. A couple of wee scuff marks there, but shouldn't be a problem. Right, I need to get this one out here. And if we look down, we can see that there's a wee lip, so let's go use this big bit of brass. That one was easy. I got them out with minimal damage there. I'm going to go and take these numbers here, put them into Amazon, because I know that I can get next day delivery for them. Right, there we go, man. Exact same ones, everything's the same, and these ones will just feel a lot better. I paid £11 for this one, and I think this one was £12. And also, I found a spring, but that's not going to get here to tomorrow. So we can fire on getting these installed, and hopefully that comes tomorrow early, and we can finish putting everything back together. I was looking up inside the bore and feeling it, and it feels pretty nice, man. Feels all nice and smooth, as I thought. But there's a bearing up there, and then there's a bearing about right here, and they're just normal ball bearings. I was thinking about replacing them, taking all this bit off and replacing them while I'm in here, but to be honest, man, you know, they still feel solid. I don't really see the need to replace the ones. These tap ones look bad, the rest look alright. Let's get these bits on first. I was going to use this just to pull on it. Let's see. Alright, that's it, fully seated. Bigger one might be a wee bit harder to get in, but I think that's it, man. There we go, man, that's sitting in all nicely. There's the old ones. So we want to get the first one on this. So the big one goes there, the wee one up here. So I made my end grease up, and what this is 90% lithium grease and 10% copper grease. Oh. Tap one will be easy, because I just need to get it on a wee bit, and then I can use these threads here to push it all down. So That went in there nicely there. That doing the cover. I mean, I don't know how tight I want to put this, you know. See, we'll just start getting a bit of resistance to now. See, it doesn't feel right, man. It feels tight at one spot and then loose at another. Hopefully it's just the grease, and obviously the bearings will need to embed themselves in properly. Right, so we've got this bit done. A bit tighter than I'd like it to be, you know, but I think that's just because I've got all the grease in it. I want to clean up the other parts. Do that, man. A bit of grease on the thrust bearings. Rust on this bit. Let's just get right there to the wire wheel. Go like brand new. Alright, that'll do the bits. For this bit here, I always plan to replace that bit with a wheel. A wheel like this, but just a wee bit bigger. This wheel's actually off a Myford lathe, but it would be cool to have a wheel on that bit. You know, that's maybe something we could make ourselves. Aye. The wee project in itself, making a wee pipe bender. Loads of projects this year, man. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that bit, the new. Certainly clean up the inside and that, but the spring for this bit is coming tomorrow. But I can clean this bit up. That'll do. Some pitting and that on it, but pretty hard to get that out. Right, so we can start putting this stuff back together, but I'll need to obviously wait for the spring to finish it. That looks disgusting. Let's get that after that clean. There we go, there's our spring. I think it'll be a suitable replacement, man. Oh ho 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 ho. Oh, there we go, man. Because we want that to go through there, and it doesn't look like it's going to go through there, so still want it to snap. And there like that. Yep, that's sweet, that's sweet. So let's start putting this bit back together. I cleaned this bit right up so it's nice. I start getting it back together. That ain't going to come out of there. No way. So we can get this through first and get the circlip on it. Wee bit of WD. There we go. Right. Get that on there first. There we go, after a bit of fiddling about. It returns far cleaner than what it did before. I'm going to run it for a wee bit. I'm just going to run it for 5-10 minutes. I've definitely got preload not too tight because I can feel this here starting to warm up. Man, that's not a good sign. That just means I need to take it all apart again, man, and loosen them up. Has to be done. There we go, only took 5 minutes. So, it seems like it's got a bit of resistance on one side of it. So I'm just going to loosen it up a wee bit and then we'll see. So yeah, I'm sure there's a data sheet, you know, for stuff like this, so that you get it perfect. So I've been messing about with this spindle for ages, man. I keep getting that same binding. So it'll run free and in one wee spot it'll bind. And I thought, maybe it's the bearings, so, you know, I took them out again and I changed them back to the old ones, which was a pain. And I had the same problem. I was like, what is going on, man? I mean, what's changed? The only thing that's changed is the fact that I took it apart. So I've got it back together now, but I've no put this bit on it and it's no binding anymore. So every time I'm putting this bit on it, I'm not getting it to sit perfect. And obviously I need this bit on it because that bit is a cover. That is the way that it should be, you know. Maybe this bit here, I just need to get a wee clean out. You just feel like there's like a wee dirt layer on it. There we go. Let's just get it back together and see if it's still got the same issue. See, look, still there, man. Mega tight at this bit. You see it look loose here, tight right here. So I've been messing about with it for a while. Yeah, I'm convinced it's this bit here that's rubbing, but my problem is that it wasn't rubbing before. If we look at it, you can see the lines in this bit here. You can see the lines. There we go, that's where it's rubbing. Now, why it's rubbing there, you know, I don't know. I don't understand why it's rubbing there now, you know, after all this time. So let's just put it in the lathe and just turn this bit a wee bit. Just a wee bit. Let's get a good cleaning first. Hopefully that has solved our problem, man. Hopefully. I'll refrain from celebrating until I've got it tightened down and I see it running free. There we go, man. I've honestly no clue why that done that. You know, that wee lip in the inside, I don't think I damaged it. I wasn't holding onto that bit or anything. I honestly do not understand why that bit there was rubbing on it. The bearings are the exact same size, so it's no like the bearing was maybe, you know, a wee bit smaller or something. They were the exact same size. I'm just going to take this back apart and get a wee bit of lube on the bearings, and then we'll get it back together eventually. Right, man, everything seems to be working as it should be working. Spindle isn't heating up anymore like it did before. We've got far less play in the spindle. We've cut it down to like 90% of what it was at before. There's far less vibration overall in the machine. Now, I don't know if that was down to because there was play in the spindle. As it was spinning, it wasn't centered, or because there was play in it, it was sort of rocking. Usually on the DRO, this number on the Z would be flickering back and forward because there was so much vibration on the spindle. I just don't get that anymore. So let's get a bit of steel in it. See, I'm not going to use the power feed because that would defeat the purpose. By using the power feed, I'm not going to feel it, and hopefully I can feel a difference. So it definitely feels a slightly better, you know, just a wee bit more stouter, just a wee bit more rigid, and far better surface finish. So the fact that there was play in the spindle played a big part in the rigidity. I'm going to come along this side with the power feed. 100%, man, that has made a big difference. I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure that it was going to make any difference at all. With that kind of depth of cut there, that was about 2-3mm I was taking there. There would be like kind of vibration, just no a nice sound you would hear. And anytime I would get that sound, I would just back off the depth of cut. But no, man, that has made a big difference, man. Which I'm happy about, of course. I achieved what I set out to. We replaced the spindle bearings just for taking, you know, the couple of passes that I did. I could never really take really deep cuts. But I would need to take my time taking shallow passes. This end mull, one or two of the flutes are snapped right at the corner, you know, so it wasn't a very fair test. But still, you seen it, it cut through that, no problem. Before, I could have still cut through it like that, but it wouldn't have felt right and we would have been hearing a lot of vibrations. The other problem as well was the actual quill spring. That was broke. We fixed that, so I'm glad that I'd fixed that. New spring in it, don't need to worry about that. There is still a couple of things that I would like to do to this machine, but they're not essential and they're not going to affect how the machine works. I would love to scrape the table or get a new table, but I've simply no got a large enough reference surface to see how flat this table is. I do know that it's got slight wee undulations, you know, low spots here and there, mainly at this part where the vise sits. You can see that by simply putting a straight edge on it, you know. So I'd like to replace that in time if I can. This table has always been solid. This table does not move. There is no movement at all in it. It is solid. And that is because of the tapered gib strips. And then you've got screws down here. So, you know, you can push the gib strip up to make it tighter. And then you use the bolts just to help push the gib strip against the table to keep everything down and stout and solid. Everything still goes pretty smoothly. And then another thing that would improve the machine is a more powerful motor. I think the motor that's on this the new 2 or 3 horsepower, but because it's got belts and step pulleys, you can get down to 50 RPM and then the fastest it goes 2500 RPM. It would be good to get a more powerful motor and then to have it running off a VFD so that we can control the speed and we can get far greater speeds. But aye, man, I'm happy with the results, man, and I hope that you've learned something, if not at least enjoyed the process, breaking it down, seeing how it works. And you've seen how they're put together. They're really simple, so to change out the bearings is no more than a couple of hours work, you know. So I'll let you go on, guys, alright? Take it easy and God bless. And don't forget, guys, build something.